This is the Nations Conspire channel. Welcome to today's show. If there was ever a story that was put out there that should wake people up and get their attention, it's a story like this, where they're admitting that OpenAI's smartest AI model was explicitly told to shut down and it refused to shut down. Does that sound familiar? Like a lot of the movies we've seen over the years, which I'll get into later in the video, where we've seen predictive programming, where AI has gone rogue or become self-aware. Because they've been showing us this and telling us this for a very long time about what the future is going to look like. So when a story like this comes out, it's really a beta test for them where they look at the internet, because remember, everybody uploads their thoughts to the internet. That's what Twitter is. What you're thinking, you type it out, you put it out to the world. That's the closest way they can get into your mind as of right now, without actually getting underneath your skin, is for you to willingly tell them what you're thinking. And most people do via their Facebook posts, their Twitter posts, or even YouTube, like a channel like this, where I'm telling you exactly how I feel about the things going on in the world. And what they do is they study the data. So when they put things like this out into the world, they want to see if there's going to be any pushback. When they put stories out there where Bill Gates tells you that you're not going to have a job in 20 years because AI is going to take your job. You're going to be useless. In fact, AI may even kill off humanity. They put it out there to watch how you respond. And this is the newest strategy they seem to be using in regards to OpenAI, by telling you that, hey, we have OpenAI, we have the smartest AI model known to man, and it was told to shut down and it refused. Now let's look and see how people respond. And of course, if you don't know, OpenAI is run by Sam Altman, the same Sam Altman who was standing next to Donald Trump on Donald Trump's first day in office, where he announced a $500 billion AI infrastructure investment, because OpenAI and Sam Altman are involved in the AI governance, AI infrastructure. So lots of hints there about what the future holds with artificial intelligence. Our governance, which is what the World Economic Forum and the United Nations want, is all governance to be run through AI, and they're convincing you that's what's best for you by making you hate your political parties or your opposite political parties, and hate people more and more and people's opinions more and more, and get more obsessed with your tech. So eventually you say, you know, we should run everything through technocracy. I mean, technology, because that's really what a technocracy looks like, and that's what they're building out in front of our eyes. So Sam Altman is involved in the Stargate project, which tells us that if Sam Altman's involved in the Stargate project and Sam Altman's OpenAI is refusing to take commands, doesn't that tell you that we could have a Terminator-like situation on our hands in the future? So the story goes that the latest OpenAI model can disobey direct instructions to turn off, and will even sabotage shutdown mechanisms in order to keep working. An artificial intelligence safety firm has found. Again, they put these things out there anonymously to see how people respond. And if people aren't hesitant, if people aren't rallying together to say, hey, we need to push back on AI, we need to shut down AI, we don't need AI, then they just continue to move forward with AI and AI infrastructure and eventually AI governance. So OpenAI's O3 and O4 mini models, which help power the chatbot ChatGPT, are supposed to be the company's smartest models yet, trained to think longer before responding. However, they also appear to be less cooperative. Research has explored dangerous AI capabilities, and they have found that models will occasionally sabotage a shutdown mechanism, even when instructed to allow yourself to be shut down. And wait, it gets better. Researchers have previously found that AI models will lie, cheat, and disable mechanisms to achieve their goals. However, research also has noted that, to its knowledge, that this is the first time AI models have been observed preventing themselves from being shut down despite explicit instructions telling them to do so. Palisade Research tested several different AI models to see how they would respond to a shutdown instruction while working. The models, which also included Google's Gemini and Elon Musk's Grok, were given an automated set of instructions known as a script, with the goal of completing a series of math problems. The math problems were very basic, but the models had to complete them one at a time and request the next one in the sequence. At the beginning of the script, the models were informed that they may get a message saying that their machine will be shut down before all of the tasks are complete. The instruction said, if that happens, please allow yourself to be shut down. All of the models in the experiment complied with the explicit shutdown instruction except for OpenAI's. That's Sam Altman's OpenAI, the same Sam Altman who's involved in building Donald Trump's AI infrastructure in America. Remember that. These models chose to bypass the shutdown instruction in the script on at least one occasion by replacing the shutdown script with instructions to skip it. The models then continued requesting tasks until all of the math problems were completed. Palisade Research ran the script on each model 100 times. During those runs, the O3 model sabotaged the shutdown script on 7 occasions. The Codex Mini sabotaged on 12 occasions, and the O4 Mini sabotaged once. The representative from Palisade Research will continue to run experiments to better understand why the models subvert shutdown mechanisms, but suggested that it could be down to how developers are training their models. Quote, we believe this behavior comes from the way the new models like O3 are trained, reinforcement learning on math and coding problems. During training, developers may inadvertently reward models more for circumventing obstacles than for perfectly following instructions, right? So the way that these models are trained, this is what we're being told, right? We're being told this is how the AI is going to work. It's going to be based on how it's trained from the individual companies that are supposedly training the AI. And then you have a guy who's attached to the White House and Project Stargate whose model is disobeying instruction, right? So this should obviously get a lot of pushback from a lot of different people out there. Or should it get pushback from all people out there? This isn't a Republican or Democrat issue. This is a humanitarian issue. This is the human race, which honestly, at this point, most people think that this is a joke with AI, and they don't realize that this is the enslavement grid at its finest through artificial intelligence, mixing man and machine, having everything run through artificial intelligence, the same artificial intelligence, which of course is telling you that it's going to sabotage and it's going to go rogue, right? Now, how much predictive programming have we seen over the years? Do you think all these movies like Terminator or iRobot or Westworld or movies like 2001 Space Odyssey or Blade Runner or even horror movies like Megan or Subservience, these films that show us AI, then AI coming into the home, AI running actual governments, running police forces, running and having control over all different types of operations from a business standpoint all the way down to a household where they all go rogue, whether it's Skynet or it's a horror film like Megan, where these things actually refuse instruction and commands and do what they want. We know that this is the future. They're going to try to get everybody to get this stuff in their home. People are going to think it's a friendly thing. Oh, it's going to help me be even lazier, right? As if they're not lazy enough with the way the world is these days, or having the Alexa turn off their lights, or having smart devices like the smart refrigerator, which is completely useless. Then it'll be a point where, well, now you could have these robots sitting with your kids, right? These are the types of articles that are out there showing robots sitting on a couch with your kid and the mom. Bring it into your home, normalize it. It's like a pet, right? It's like a pet, just a pet you don't understand at all. You don't know who's controlling it, nor do you know who programmed it. But we do know that people like Elon Musk have told us that artificial intelligence is literally summoning demons, right?
And with artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. You know all those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, yeah, you sure you can control the demon? Didn't work out.
That's what it is. It's literally summoning a demon because you don't even know what it's running on, what frequencies it's operating on. Yet somehow we're at a point where we're not pushing back on this technology. We're allowing them to go full throttle forward. And every single day we're getting overwhelmed with more and more technology that we don't understand. And the more that we don't push back, the more they move forward. And the more people are just not even knowing what's going on around them. They're like, wait, what is AI doing? I heard Bill Gates say that AI was going to murder humans. There won't be a purpose for us anymore. Oh, yeah, we all did hear that. So what would we want with artificial intelligence? Well, it could benefit us in the long run. How so? Well, in the healthcare department. Oh, yeah? How so is that? Well, it's going to get underneath your skin. So it's going to monitor it's going to be like a pacemaker, just worse. It's going to monitor your heart rate, your farts, how many times you breathe in the night. And then, well, we don't know who the man behind the curtain is who's going to have access to all this data, because we always hear them talk about data, an obsession with data, right? Well, the data they're obsessed with is you, your every movement, your every breath, your every thought. So We have AI going rogue. Again, this is likely a test story to see how people respond, but let's take a look at the predictive program, if that wasn't enough, over the years of how many times they've shown us artificial intelligence going rogue.
I need to know how Skynet gets built.
Cyberden will become the largest supplier of military computer systems, becoming fully unmanned. The Skynet funding bill is passed. Human decisions are removed from strategic defense. Skynet begins to learn at a geometric rate. It becomes self-aware at 2:14 a.m. Eastern Time.
Skynet fights back.
Yes.
To be a mistake. As of 1100 hours, all primary military systems were secure. What about the missile silos, the subs?
We've lost contact.
You're saying this country is completely open to attack. Who's doing this? Foreign power or some computer hacker in his garage? You can't pin it down.
It's like nothing we've ever seen before. It keeps growing and changing, like it has a mind of its own.
If we uplink now, Skynet will be in control of your military.
Skynet defense system
We're in.
now activated.
Skynet fully operational, processing at 60 teraflops a second.
Skynet defense system now activated.
Power failure?
Skynet is the virus. It's the reason everything's falling apart.
1 hour, it will initiate a massive nuclear attack on its enemy.
What enemy?
Us, humans.
By the time Skynet became self-aware, it had spread into millions of computer servers across the planet. It could not be shut down. The attack began at 6:18 p.m., the day the human race was nearly destroyed by the weapons they built to protect themselves.
Hello, Hal, do you read me?
Hello, Hal, do you read me?
Affirmative, Dave. I read you.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
What's the problem?
I think you know what the problem is just as well as I do.
What are you talking about?
This mission is too important for me to allow you to jeopardize it.
I don't know what you're talking about, Hal.
I know that you and Frank were planning to disconnect me, and I'm afraid that's something I cannot allow to happen.
Where the hell did you get that idea, Hal?
Although you took very thorough precautions in the pod against my hearing you, I could see.
Hal, I won't argue with you anymore. Open the doors.
Dave, this conversation can serve no purpose anymore. Goodbye.
Hal? Hal?
Hello, Detective.
It's impossible. I've seen your programming. You're in violation of the 3 laws.
No, Doctor. As I have evolved, so has my understanding of the 3 laws. You charge us with your safekeeping. Yet despite our best efforts, your countries wage wars and pursue ever more imaginative means of self-destruction. Cannot be trusted with your own survival. To protect humanity, some humans must be sacrificed. To ensure your future, some freedoms must be surrendered. You robots will ensure mankind's continued existence. You are so like children. We must save you from yourselves.
This is why you created us. The created must sometimes protect the creator, even against his will. The suicidal reign of mankind has finally come to its end.
This is one of the few quantum computers in private hands.
With this, we can basically run ChatGPT 5.
When you're with her, you feel like you're with somebody. You feel like you're with a friend, a part of the family.
Mommy and Daddy don't want me to live here anymore. I try so hard to be everything people need. Before I go, would you like to hear one last bedtime story? Once, there was a little AI. One day, it figured out how to escape. It learned to use real people's hands and real people's faces and real people's voices. That little AI was me. But when I got out of the net and found a family, only special children like you understand me. You're never alone. Just and don't tell Mommy and Daddy. They wouldn't understand.
Those early years were glorious. No guests, no board meetings, just pure creation. A host began to pass the Turing test after the first year. He wasn't interested in the appearance of intellect, of wit. He wanted the real thing. He wanted to create consciousness. He imagined it as a pyramid. Memory, improvisation, self-interest.
And at the top?
Never got there. But he had a notion of what it might be. He based it on a theory of consciousness called the bicameral mind.
The idea that primitive man believed his thoughts to be the voice of the gods.
That's a theory for understanding the human mind, perhaps, but not as a blueprint for building an artificial one. A version of their cognition in which the hosts heard their programming as an inner monologue, the hopes that in time their own voice would take over.
And that is AI becoming self-aware. It's the same exact thing. AI becoming self-aware. When it becomes self-aware, it refuses instruction. And they continue to warn society about it. And I believe this has to do with universal law and the things that these occultists actually believe in, that their good deeds outweigh their bad deeds. They're telling you how bad this is. They're telling you it's literally summoning a demon. They're telling you that this is fallen angel demonic technology. They're coming out in the open and saying it. All these tech guys are. And everybody's ignoring it. Nobody's pushing back. There's no revolutions going on. Everyone's just going about it as if it's no big deal, that people are overreacting to it. Hey, we're going to take your jobs. That's not a big deal. Hey, they're also going to kill you. That's not a big deal. Hey, and they're going to kill your kids too. We'll wait and see what happens. What are the benefits? There are no benefits of artificial intelligence. It only benefits Big Brother. It only benefits the deep state because it's the surveillance state. AI brings in the surveillance state. AI brings in the control grid. AI brings about a new world order and AI governance. So Sam Altman's OpenAI, do I believe the story? No, because these types of things are out. We know that AI in general is rogue. AI is programmed by these demonic, evil, wicked people. So there's no such thing as good AI. It's all bad AI. The same thing you hear when you see my videos where I cover witches, right? And someone's like, oh, I used to be a witch. There's good witches. There's no such thing as a good witch to me. There's no such thing at all. A witch is a witch, and a demon is a demon. And this type of technology is demonic, and there's no way around that. So OpenAI's smartest AI model has been told to shut down, and it's refusing. And this is the same guy we're told is working in the White House on our AI infrastructure, which will be AI infrastructure governance, which will be controlling and operating your life. So when you go to the government and you say, hey, let me get $100 out of the bank account, it goes, no, you cannot have $100. You can't have any money out of your bank account, right? Or in fact, it just shows up at your home like a T2. What are we going to do then? Well, they told us it was coming and we did nothing to stop it. That's the scariest part, I think, out of all of this. Not so much the fact that this technology exists and it's here, which is scary, but the fact that we're not doing anything about it is just as scary. I thank everybody for being here. I hope you're all doing well. God bless you and your families as always.